Hello, happy Thursday. Thankful Thursday to me. I'm Shannon, and I really hope you're shining today because you were meant to shine. As you know what, right before I prepared to come online, so like within the last 20 minutes, I went out for just a quick walk, jog, run, and I went to, shoot just a little piece of video to say I was out for a quick walk, run. I don't even like to call it run. It's so lame. It's more of a little jog. And right as I finished, it was maybe, I don't know, maybe even just 30 seconds, right? Because I needed to get back here so that I could do the live at 5. And so I say something into the camera. And if you live near me, I'm on like this main road and approaching the intersection to come into the street that I live on. And I finished the recording and I am continuing. I want to jog. And I happen to look down and there's this black snake. Oh my God. He must have been like, I don't know. I don't want to exaggerate. I want to tell you exactly. He had to be like 2 feet, maybe 3 feet long, and he's slithering right in front of me. So I don't know if that would have been great if I caught it on the video, but it wouldn't have been great if I caught it on the video. But I had just finished, hitting the record button, had turned it off. But oh my gosh, every time that happens to me, and it does, if you live in Florida, as many years as I've lived in Florida, and you like to go outside, you have a snake story. And so, I have a couple of them. So needless to say, there's this little, like I do a little shortcut through the grass instead of going at the light and crossing the street at the light. Well, needless to say, I didn't do the little shortcut through the grass. So I'm done. Once I see snake or snake skin, I know it's that season, then things just freak me out. So anyhow, today on Radiant Wrap, I just want to share with you really quickly something that is constantly on my mind because at least this isn't everyone's situation, but it is a situation for a lot of clients that I train. The situation is often they've been in a caloric deficit for a really long time. And what I mean by that is they are used to not eating. And so they feel like in order for them to lose weight, they need to further decrease the calories that they intake. And yes, typically that makes sense. You want to lose weight, you're at a certain calorie intake, you reduce the number of calories that you are eating so that you have a deficit between the amount of calories that you take in and the number that you burn, and then you lose weight. However, if you've been doing that for over a long period of time, and say, just for the sake of saying, say you are 300 pounds and you are eating 1,400 calories a day, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 calories a day. You should probably be somewhere more like 2,000 calories a day. Well, I can't jump you up to 2,000 calories a day, but just even increasing the number of calories a day by just a couple hundred may help you to get your system in gear. Okay, so this is why your body is primal. It is designed to survive. Okay, you put all the makeup on you want, you do your hair, your nails, put muscle on. Hey, how are you, Lindsay? Put muscles on, do all of that, and your body doesn't care. It wants to survive. So there's something called a basal metabolic rate. The basal metabolic rate is the very fundamental number of calories that you need to live, like to just be a blob and do nothing, not to work out, not to run around with the kids, not to, be productive, have a good even kill temperament, none of that, just to survive. You have that basic number, okay? You have to have more than that if you are increasing your workout, etc. Because what has happened is if you have been in that caloric deficit, like you're under that or even right at that basal metabolic rate, your body is not going to want to release fat because, what did I just say? Your body is primal. It wants to survive. As far as your body goes, that's all it knows, to survive. So if it doesn't know, if it's not getting the amount of nutrients that it needs on a regular basis, the amount that it needs, it goes into that survival mode and it will hold on to fat and store it because, I don't know, it acts as if it's a famine in the land. It doesn't know, the difference from, it's not going to behave differently from a crisis in the 1600s or now, okay? So it will hold on to the fat. So what I will do with the clients, and like I said, if they're way below what they should be, and a lot of my clients, they just 1,200 calories, that's what they think. 1,200 calories, that's it. That's what I should. Starving themselves. A lot of times they're hungry. Sometimes they're not even hungry because they're so used to not eating. Interestingly enough, when they do eat, maybe only one meal, it will often be crap. So a meal that is 60, 70% processed food, fat, fast food, that type of thing. So of course it's relative to what you eat, but in the way that I coach and train, you can have some of the things that you like. So if you like Chick-fil-A, you can have some of that in your diet. Thanks for the fire emojis. I love you. I appreciate you. So what I will tend to do then is to increase the caloric intake just a little bit. And when I tell you it's like pulling teeth, it's like pulling teeth. So it's like a reverse dieting, really, to get the body to understand that it doesn't have to hold on to the fat and store it. It's not in a starvation mode, and it will begin to allow the body to go to a more homeostasis state, and get the metabolism to start functioning properly again, hormone levels, hey Cheryl, to start functioning again. And then once the body sees, okay, I am being nourished in proportion to what my needs are, then I can recalibrate. Metabolism starts to function better, hormone levels start to function better, and then you can start losing weight. And then perhaps once you get to that that level, caloric level, then maybe depending on where you are, we start to reduce and make a little deficit. But it is amazing. And the clients that I have convinced, a lot of times it takes weeks, sometimes months. You got to eat more. You got to eat more. You got to eat more. And I can't do it. Sometimes the gap is so big. There's no way, that I can get them to go from what they're used to eating to where I want them to be. So it has to be like this little gradual increase. And lo and behold, what happens? They start losing the weight, and they're happier because they're not hungry. But you know what? It takes, and you can leave me questions right here if you want. They're happier. They have more energy. They're not as tired. Okay, because you need nourishment, and there is a formula. There are the macronutrients that you need in certain percentages. So it's a little more involved in that. But the bottom line is you have to eat. Number one, because the body is primal and it just wants to survive. If you are not feeding it enough nutrients, I'm not talking to you all who are, overeating. That's another group. A lot of my clients don't, because they have for so long got into the mode of I can't eat, and guilt over eating, and they will not, and they do not eat, and they skip all the meals. And then when they do eat on occasion, maybe once a day, maybe, they'll just bird eat. And then when they do, they go on the wild side. And so, and I try to remind them, it's like, okay, you tell me that you can't eat this amount of calories, but you just had a Chick-fil-A sandwich, the large waffle fry, a Coke, and a ice cream. Well, that's like 1,300 calories, something like that, in that one meal. Okay, so can you eat more? You're just not used to it. And also the other thing is, a lot of times you're just so busy. Like, you're home, working from home now, and you're not taking the time. So you might even have to schedule it. Okay, time to eat now. All right. So number one, body is primal, wants to survive. Number two, you have to have and be above your basal metabolic rate, which is calorically, which is your bottom line baseline. It's different. Everyone is different. It's not, this is 1,200 calories, 1,200. No, it matters how old you are. It matters how much you weigh. It matters how long you've been in a caloric deficit. It matters how much you have been yo-yo dieting your whole life. All that stuff matters, okay? And then once you increase, and it will help you to stabilize your metabolism, get that functioning and grooving again, get the hormone levels going again, then you will start to drop the weight. So sometimes it will take a minute, especially if your gut is jacked. It will take a minute, okay? But that's what I came to tell you today. If you have any questions, you can put them in here. You can give me heart emojis, some fire emojis if you feeling me, what I'm saying, if it's clear, if it makes sense. Am I making sense? Let me know. And starting March 1st, I'm going to do a 2-week free challenge. So if you're interested in that, you can, hit me up. I'll have some information about that out over the weekend. I'm getting that together, but it'll start March 1st, and there will be a limit to the number of people that I have openings for that can go on to the program. You're supposed to be set. Well, you are. Have you tried to go into the system, Cheryl? I'm going to text you as soon as I get off, because you're all set. Your program's in there. It's been in there for 3 days, all week. I'm sorry. I thought you knew that. I'll take responsibility for that. Oh, same. For sure. That's another thing that is going to go into consideration, right? Because that, if you're menopausal, it throws off your hormones. But menopausal, I'm on the other side of that, okay? But we menopausal women, sometimes depending on hormonally how things are going for you, because some of us experience more symptoms than others. I definitely believe that how you are treating your body in many, many cases will help with the symptoms of menopause. You still got to eat. Okay, you have to eat. And so the better we're nourishing our body, the better we're hydrating our body, the better we're caring for our bodies. All right, I'm going to look at that right after. Babe, I didn't realize that. You should be able to get in there. So my apologies to you, girl. And yeah, so this is Thursday. So yeah, we got to get you in there right away. All right, so I'm going to be on that as soon as I leave here. Hey, Tasha, how are you? Good to see you. Any questions, my friends? Am I making sense? Okay, I'm making sense? All right, cool. Well, that's all that I'm going to share today with the Radiant Wrap. Besides the fact that, and I cannot iterate this enough, you were meant to shine. You have greatness inside of you. Hey, Sister Michelle, how are you, girl? I miss seeing you. You have greatness inside of you, and I believe in you. Look, we're a masterpiece for sure. You are a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously, right? So we're all kind of taking our steps. 1%. It is about progress, not perfection. You feel me? All right. Talk to you later. Love you. Nothing you can do about it. Yes, we'll talk. We'll talk, Lindsay. Bye for now.